tears and fears, they've gotten us for years. With jokes and all that's dear, our love's clear. Through laughter, tears and fears, they've gotten us for years. With jokes and all that's dear, our love's clear.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Love in Black and White, where each week we try and put the love back in you right. I'm one of your hosts, Big RJ Hollingsworth, and I have with me the co-host, the Black de Bergerac, part-time famous, full-time funny, Carlos Anthony.
Yeah, we are here. It's been interesting, hasn't it?
First of all, I will not have this slander in our chat. Victoria says Jay kisses his dog on the mouth. I do not. He may try and kiss me on the mouth, but I do not allow it. I fucking beat him. That'll be cut and then sent to like the Animal Humane Society. No, we don't play that shit. What up, Moody? You know what's funny is Wrinkles, who I raised and trained and everything. Wrinkles like doesn't even make an effort. He'll lick my ear because he knows I'm like, nah, man, we're good. And he never really will fucking. I don't think he ever tries to kiss like anywhere in this area. He'll always just go to the ear. But Apollo, that motherfucker, because we got him after he was almost a year, and it's like, God, it's hard to train him. He also like ingested some weed before when he was a puppy, yeah, and I think it fucked him up a little bit. Apollo is just love and dumb. Those are his two qualities. I mean,
okay, I get it. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
But I love him. I love the doggies. I love him. And Thor, he doesn't try and kiss anybody at all.
He's on attack mode all the time.
Yes. I forgot to say in your intro, Black de Bergerac. No, hold on. You know where I'm going, right?
I know where you're going with this, and I'm saying no right off the top. No,
fuck all that. The Black de Bergerac, the alluring Carlos Anthony, which brings up one of the topics. I don't know if you saw the topics I put in there. Did you?
I did not. I didn't go watch it. I like to be a surprise sometimes.
Perfect. All right. So we're in Boston. We were in Boston this last week. Happy belated St. Patty's Day. If this was the best trip, the best Boston trip since I started doing the Big Irish Jay and Friends show. I mean, it was great. Like people that have been to the shows previously, they said like the comics are always great, but every year it's like they get better and better. Like and we now shout out to the McCarthy family and Allie Coleman. I talked about this on the HWP, or we talked about it, we spend St. Patty's Day parade at the McCarthy house in Southie, and love them. They're the fucking best. But when we were at the McCarthys, and they were there last year, this gay couple, they're great, and they're so funny. But there was one dude that was hammered, and actually Carlos was getting it from everybody. He was getting it from the gays, the lesbians, fucking everybody loved Carlos. But this one gay dude, I'll let you tell the story, Carlos. Tell us about the conversation and how it came about.
I mean, very sweet guy, very nice guy. Like Jay said, he just was sloshed. And he felt the need to come over and tell me, first of all, he's a little too much of my private space. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna allow this moment to happen because I'm in unfamiliar territory. Yeah. So then he says, "Oh my God, just want to let you know that you're so alluring." And that's how he said it. And I was like, I have never, ever in the history of my life ever been told that I was alluring. He's like, your eyes. Yes. Oh my God. Then he just kept saying it over and over. And I was like, all right, I think this is I'm glad this is on the back end of when it's time for us to go.
Might not want to say back end and go.
Well, this is true. To get out the door.
The back door. No. And so I wanted to piggyback off this a couple of things. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, Carlos, but I think I can say confidently, like, Carlos and I would consider myself an ally, as the kids say. I think Carlos would consider himself that also. And I don't want to be the oh, I have lots of gay friends or any of that fucking horseshit, but I've been hit on before by gay guys, and I've witnessed Carlos getting hit on before, and I've received compliments from gay dudes or whatever, and I appreciate it. I mean, fuck, a compliment's a compliment. I don't give a fuck who it comes from, you know. But what I wanted to ask you is, how do you well, first, like, that guy was just giving you a compliment. He wasn't really like hitting on you, or maybe he was. I don't know. I mean, did you feel he wasn't trying to fuck? We're at the St. Patty's Day parade. He's just hammered. He's just giving you a nice compliment.
Yeah, he was having a good time. Having a good time, and that's how I took it. I didn't take it anything. I didn't look any deeper into it. I wasn't trying to look any deeper into it. So it's one of those moments where, I mean, it could have been uncomfortable, because if you're not an ally, or you feel, if you're homophobic in either way, then those things can be a lot of pressure, I'm sure, for somebody in that mindset. But I didn't think two things about it, honestly, other than the fact that I've never been called alluring before.
I know,
which I was like, I don't know how far this goes up on the compliment chart, but I think that's pretty up there.
That's fucking alluring is
right.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, all right, dude, great. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. So it's no harm, no foul, no big deal.
Yeah. And what's funny is when I first moved to LA, I drove Lyft and Uber, as you're trying to, navigate through the scene and everything and pay bills still.
So when you were driving, did you pay attention to where you were?
No, I just used GPS.
Oh, okay.
Still to this day, if you ask me, like Angel knows, she'll ask me, is that over by Rainbow? I was like, I don't fucking know. I just put in the address and I go there. I am dumb, Carlos. How many times do I have to tell you? Quit fucking brain shaming me.
I want you to figure out where you are.
Vegas. That's about the most I got for you. Nevada. But when I was driving one time, I picked up this gay dude that was hammered, and I don't know where I was taking him. I can't remember where I picked him up from, but and this is when I was fat. And he goes, as I'm driving him, making small talk or whatever, and then he asked me, he goes, "Are you gay?" And I go, "No." And he goes, "So you're straight?" And I go, "Yeah." And I'm like laughing. I go, "Yeah." And then he goes, "How's that working for you?" I fucking died. I was like, I go, "I think I'm pretty good, I guess." He's like, "Really?" And I was like, and this guy was kind of fat too. So I was like, "Hey, fuck you." Oh, fuck. But it was just so funny. How's that working for you? Yeah. How's that working for you?
That is hilarious. Because I'm telling you, sometimes I don't know if it's the compliment or the attempted pickup. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
it's hilarious what they say and how the mannerisms. So it's funny. If you don't take it personal, it ain't nothing.
I'll take it personal, but I don't take it personal in a bad way.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, yeah. I mean, it's hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. And it gives more material, because I'm taking that to the stage for sure.
Yeah. What up, Derek? Derek, plug your podcast in here. Tell everybody the name of your podcast. I'm doing it tomorrow. Yeah. So I wanted to have you, again, so we told the story of the guy that called you alluring, and now tell the other story of the, Carlos got a little action, some booty smacking, and tell that story.
It's first of all, shout out to the Naturals podcast.
Yeah.
So that preceded the alluring part. I'm sitting there minding my business. I'm just soaking up what's going on at the house and the gloriousness of the St. Patty's Day. And this lady comes over to me and says, Yeah. So before I went, I was married and I got a divorce. And before I went to my wife, I had so many black guys that I'm surprised I never met you. And I was like, I don't live here. I don't
No,
live here.
wait, hold on. Remember where you're at in the story. So I'm where we're at. We're in the McCarthy's home, and I'm on one couch. I'm on the couch, and Carlos is sitting next to me, like a foot away. And they're talking, and I'm like recording myself, and I kind of like start to turn it over towards them. I recorded a few clips of their conversation, but one of them, as I start to turn towards her, all I remember her going, yeah, you know, they say once you go black. And I was like, I just turned it off. I was like, yikes, I don't know where this is fucking going.
Right. So yeah. So when she will go black, if you go to a woman, I was like, wow. But she was like, yeah, all the black guys loved me. It's because I had a nice ass. And I was like, oh, okay, yes. Then she turned. I'm sitting down, so she's standing up. I'm sitting down. She turns her ass in my face. And I'm like, well, this is awkward.
Welcome to Boston.
Don't you think it's nice? It's like, so I'm not gonna tell you it's not a nice ass. I mean, yeah, just sits there for a lesbian white woman. You got one.
Yes.
And then she's like, yeah. Then she starts twerking in front of me, and then she says, "Smack it, smack it." And I was like, I guess I'm supposed to do this now. So yeah, I gave it a couple smacks. You know. And then she was eyeballing the rest of the night too. And her girlfriend, her wife, I don't know. She was like, yeah, she gets like this. I was like,
yeah.
Whoo, boy, this has been a wonderful trip.
Yeah, and Carlos played along with it perfect because he just starts going, I'm moving to Boston as he's smacking her ass. I'm moving to Boston. Oh, so I bring up both of those. Excuse me. I bring up both of those because I wanted to ask you one, and you kind of already answered one of them, but I was going to say, have you ever been aggressively hit on by a gay dude, and how did you handle it? And you, like I said, you kind of mentioned, but you can, elaborate.
Man, I lived in Atlanta, which Atlanta is the southern San Francisco. So them dudes down there are extremely aggressive. But everything that ever happened to me in Atlanta or like not Boston now, it's always been on a I'm gonna shoot a compliment first, and if you accept it, I'm gonna see how if you want to continue this kind of conversation. And I'm like, no, I appreciate the compliment, but yeah, I'm good. I'm straight. I'm straight. So I haven't had anybody be overly aggressive. Nobody tried to reach out and grab a dick or nothing like that. So
I don't think I've had that. When I was in Seattle for like a hot second, I dated this girl, Jennifer Burdett, that she hosted a drag show at Neighbors, which is like the top gay bar. It used to be the top gay bar in Seattle. Mm-hmm. And then I think I was the first straight person that ever performed stand-up there on this show. But anyways, so I would always, I'd go hang out or whatever. And then I met Michael, my buddy Michael, who actually just hit me up like a month ago, and I fucking love that guy. But I would go to those shows all the time, and nothing ever like, aggressive there or anything bad or anything. But I did have a guy aggressively hit on me in my DMs. I might have talked about this before. It got to where it was uncomfortable because Neighbors from Victoria. But it started off where he was a fan or whatever, and then asked if I was straight, and I was like, yeah, I'm straight. And then he was doing like this little subtle shit, like do you have big feet or whatever, or what size shoe do you wear? And I'm like, I don't think I answered. I think I just ignored it. And then it got to where it was like, how big's your dick? And I was like, I told the guy, I was like, hey, I don't mind us, we can chat or whatever, but I'm like, it's getting a little awkward. I've told you I'm not gay, and and it's getting uncomfortable at this point.
And he's trying to make a conversion.
Yeah. And then I think I ended up having to block him because he just wouldn't get the hint. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck, man? And then I started thinking, I was like, this must be what women go through with guys, sending dick pics unsolicited and or the aggressive DM things. And then, but the only difference is when I shot this guy down, he didn't go fucking bitch, you fucking ugly bitch. He just kept trying. I was like,
Right.
oh, fuck, you know.
I mean, I don't think it's any different in the straight or the gay world. I think it's honestly all the same. But it is, I think, that gives you a really good insight as to what women go through. Because I mean, I've definitely seen. I've had a lot of female friends and women friends before, and I've seen some of their DMs, and I'm like, good God. And some of these women are posting the stuff now because obviously dudes. I don't know, dudes are not as embarrassed as they should be. But the messages they see, you like, do you know this is a screenshot away from being posted? Like, I don't. How stupid are you? Like,
and when they showed you when they showed you their DMs of these like offensive messages, were you like, hey, I was drunk at the time?
I was like, no. I think about what you're
saying. Come on, were you drunk now? Come on, Carlos, let's fucking wake up. You know I got my 5-hour energy.
Oh, shit, here we go.
Giddy up, let's go.
Although I did have a 92 sleep score.
Oh, Jesus. I had an 84, and I was like, the last 2 nights, I mean, it's made up for my weekend in Boston because I fucking slept like shit, but last 2 nights I've slept fucking great.
Just to turn this whole podcast old right there.
I know.
I did sleep score.
Dude, it used to be like, man, last night I got hammered, and now it's like, man, last night I had a great sleep score. So I also wanted to ask you, so you've now experienced Boston probably in the short amount of time you got to experience a lot, and like some of the best parts of Boston, I would say, which is a lot of the people. And you kind of you got to experience Boston women in the sense of like, you know, from the different places we went, and you're hearing different people. And I was just wondering, like, what would be your impression of like what it would be like dating a girl from Boston, like Southie girl?
Aggressive, and loud, very loud, and they pretty much sound like me. Which is bizarre. All of them had this old raspy. Well, I ain't gonna say all of them. The majority of them had this old raspy. How you doing? It's like, good God, sir, ma'am. It's aggressive, but it was mildly entertaining as well. Or it's like, okay, all right, shoot, just say what you gotta say. Say what you gotta say.
and it does it kind of throw you off too, where like it could be a girl that's just beautiful, and she'd be like, "Hey, how are you? What's your story?"
Right. Yeah, it was that, and you're like, I don't. You should get that checked, baby. You should get something in your throat. I don't know if is that how you talk all the time. So, but yeah, it goes for what Derek just said. Would you say Boston, New York, more aggressive? Because my ex, she was from New York. She's from the Bronx, New York. So she's New York. I would say, because I never dated a woman from Boston, I can't say that Boston is more aggressive than New York, because New York still stands out right now by far. And she wasn't even super aggressive, but she could be. She could be very aggressive at times. So I'm gonna have to say New York. I'm gonna have to say New York for now, unless I get me a Boston woman.
And the other thing that's interesting too, it's like the accent, and like you said, there is a lot of, I think that's from like, and it might be changing a little bit, but I think that's from like smoking, the gravelly voice, and also like the fucking cold weather and shit like that. Moody said my brothers are from Queens. New York by far more aggressive.
And I think so, because this is what I did notice. I've never been I've never spent any significant time in New York. It's always been literally in and out, like within 48 hours. So I've had time in Boston now. So I'm like, Boston seems more chill, honestly, but they're still aggressive. So New York just always, to me, has always appeared to be like everybody's on the go, everybody's irritated, everybody has a problem. So that's why they are always aggressive. So yeah, I just think New York just, and I plan on going to New York this year for sure. So we'll compare when I get back.
And what's funny is you just described a lot of what I don't like about New York. The always fast paced and go, and there is no downtime, which fucking that's one of the things one of the multiple things I don't like about New York. There's things I do like about New York, but that's some of the main ones are like there's never any downtime. But the other thing I was going to say is that the accent and the I guess the tone or the graveliness of the voice can throw you off, because again, like there's beautiful women in Boston, and also like very progressive, liberal, and like smart. But you know, to be like, you know, like, you want to fucking talk about nuclear fusion? What the fuck are you?
Right. Good times. I mean, great time. I definitely want to go back. I definitely want to go back and spend a couple more days actually being around the city. So yeah, it was a dope time.
And with that, I wanted to I put on here, one of the things I put on there that you didn't see is, now you've been on the dating apps before. You're not currently on it, are you? Or are you? Okay. And also you've lived a lot of places. So I was going to say via the dating apps, but it can just be in general. From the multiple cities you've performed at, visited, lived in, what areas would you say have some of the finest women?
Phoenix.
I know who. What?
Phoenix.
Okay. We'll do your top 3 cities.
Phoenix, Houston, because I've been there many times. LA. Oh, I know. Let me bump LA down to 4 and put San Diego.
Yeah.
So Phoenix, Houston, San Diego, or Houston and San Diego can be interchangeable. But Phoenix, man. Listen, I have always been impressed ever since I started going down there. I was like, good God, this down here is fucking amazing.
Okay. So Moody says San Antonio. Derek says Austin. My 3, I would put Miami. Man, the Latino, good Lord, Miami's got some fine women. San Diego, I would put in there. I remember when I was on the dating apps, I remember going through San Diego. I was like, God damn, all these like right. You know, it was like, holy shit. Yeah. And then I'm trying to think who would be my 3rd. I'm not saying Phoenix doesn't, but I don't remember it standing out to me like San Diego. I was blown away at how many beautiful women were on the dating apps. And then Miami, I was like immediately like, God damn. Dang. After those 2, San Diego, I don't know. Who would I don't know.
Vegas, Buddha said Vegas. Vegas is different, man. It's a lot of transient women that come through the city. But if you're talking about that actually live here, I can't even put them in the top 10 of people who are born and raised here that I've met, that I'm like, oh yeah, this makes this city top 10 by far. No, but if you're talking about a transient, people who just come in and out party cities, it's in the top 3.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, Derek's saying the same thing, you know. Same thing that you're saying, Carlos. Okay, if I had to, I'm trying to think back in the days when I was on the dating apps, and then who was I pretty impressed with? LA's kind of the same as like Vegas, as far as like you have all these people that are trying to get, so you'll have a lot of pretty people, but you know, it's I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I moved them down after San Diego. I was like, I can't put LA. LA does have a lot of beautiful women, but if you're talking about people from or around the area that's been there for years, San Diego for sure.
It might be a Texas city. Somewhere in Texas might be up there. I'm trying to think of like when I've gone to Texas or you know what? I'm gonna say Toronto, Canada. Toronto.
I keep hearing about Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto. And Toronto, if I remember right, a lot of people say Toronto's kind of like the New York of Canada. Toronto, I remember I was like, God dang. So those are, I'd say my, one's not in the US, but, Kamloops, Canada, never heard of that.
Never even heard of it.
Oh yeah, and then Derek's going worldwide. He's saying countries.
Oh well,
Man.
Colombia is definitely not. It's shit. That Colombia and Puerto Rico are neck and neck to me. Colombia and Puerto Rico for sure. Brazil is definitely right. Brazil is right there at number 2. Any of those islands, Dominican Republic, Jamaica, shit.
Brazil.
Yeah, Brazil by far. But
I immediately thought about Brazil, but then I was like, is Brazil a country? I'm fucking so dumb.
Good God.
God, I'm a fucking dummy. Well, fuck, I don't know. This is a fucking country. I don't know.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I mean, it's I don't know, man. I like going to cities where the aesthetics are gorgeous, because it just adds a different vibe to it. So I do have to give Boston some credit, man. I was impressed. I was impressed. I didn't think it would be like that in a good way. So yeah.
Yeah, and I was telling Carlos one thing when I moved to Boston, and noticed immediately, and I also saw it in New York. I didn't live in New York, but going down to New York all the time. And I was telling him is you'll notice a lot of women on the East Coast. It's like their face may not be that, but you were like, God damn, all these chicks got fucking ass. Yeah. And I was telling him it's because there's so much going up and down stairs to the subway, and they're both big, a lot of walking in the cities, and so I think it fucking builds them cheeks up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it. Victoria said Philippines. We win the most Miss Universe. What they always pick the same 20 women. I keep hearing about the Philippines. You got to. I've heard also. You heard you got to be very careful in the Philippines because they might not be like
they are Filipino women. Yeah. Filipino.
So, they're in Thailand. I mean, it's so many beautiful people in the world. That's why it always trips me out when people get stuck in their little box and they think that this is the U.S. is all that it is. No, we got some pretty people and gorgeous people in this world, but in this country. But Jesus, get out and see the world, man. Get out and see the world. I don't know about Sweden.
Yeah, I don't. Not for me, because I've never been into blonde-haired, blue-eyed type. I've never. Have I ever told you my theory on why I think I'm not other than like I grew up in predominantly black neighborhood, but nope, that's Thailand as far as ladyboys. Victoria, I think the Philippines can fucking, maybe they're number 2.
Their money.
Yeah. Let's not act like the Philippines don't have any fucking ladyboys. Right. We watched this goddamn, 90 Day Fiance or something. And this one dude loves ladyboys and he's engaged to this ladyboy from the Philippines. But anyways, but so this is getting, not to get deep or anything, but so I've never been attracted to blonde hair, blue eye type. Now, me and my mom, my mom, rest in peace, and we made peace, so to speak, before she passed, so, good and everything. But growing up, my mom used to threaten to put me up for adoption, award me the court, all this stuff. And like growing up, we had a rocky relationship, you'll just say. My mom, blonde haired, blue eyed. Now, I've always been attracted to darker features, dark hair, brown eyes. My grandmother, who I say raised me and was like my mom and grandma, black hair, dark brown, almost black eyes. I mean, when she mouthed off, my grandpa would give, so that's why the black eyes. Just kidding, joke. Come on,
man, it's nice outside.
R.I.P. Grandma Rosemary, like her name, Grandpa Jay. Jokes. So I think on I guess it would be a conscious level because I recognize it, not a subconscious. But I always wondered if that was, maybe a thing from my childhood, why I was never really attracted to the blonde-haired, blue-eyed type.
It's possible. Possible.
And also, a lot of my buddies would. This is another thing. A lot of my buddies would date white chicks, blondes, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, and I would just see them fucking them over. I mean, like, obviously fucking them over or using them, and these chicks would keep coming back, and I was like, ugh, don't you have any self-respect? Fuck all that. it just used to drive me crazy. Anyways, but yet I digress. I I agree. Moody said, I agree with you. I'm half Chinese and I had a hard time dating Asian women. It's interesting. You know, like I say, if I grew up in a like predominantly white neighborhood, I'd probably be attracted to white women more, I guess, you know, I don't know. He said, yeah, because it reminded of his mom. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting how like, you know, your childhood forms you, so to speak. And now I have two topics in here, Carlos, you put in here. We might have talked about this though. Why do you need other friends when you got me?
Yeah, I can't remember if we did or not, but it's interesting because I had a conversation with a good friend of mine recently, and that conversation has come up within their relationship before, and I know I've heard it before. Is, hey, why you need other friends when you got me? I'm like, yeah, I'm your best friend, and I'm like, I don't know. I believe in some diverse friendships and relationships, and I say that beyond the scope of what I'm in, and that doesn't mean that I'm not into you or that you're not my closest friend. I think you should be in a relationship where you definitely have a confidant and somebody you can talk to, but then you should also have the ability to have friends outside of your relationship. So I think it's a weird thing to have, especially when those friends were there before your relationship. Because now if you come in and you're starting to tell me who I can and can't talk to, then I'm already on edge, because now you're asking me to give up lifelong friendships for you. And that's a hard sell. That's a hard sell.
I'm laughing because yeah, and I think I actually mentioned it on last week's podcast, but I've always, you know, if I'm dating someone early on, I'll tell them like I need time for you, time for myself, and time with my friends. That keeps me sane. And I've said before on the podcast, which is true, which, you know, Carlos, like the fight, what am I on fucking sucker duty? Like when Angel and I, anytime we've had any kind of like fight, which we've never had like a drag out screaming fight, but we'll have like a quick thing where usually she's the one that snaps, you know, because I'm pretty even keeled. But we laugh about it, you know, hours or days later. And we had one, you don't even know that. I don't think I told you this, Carlos. We had one. What was the show that you did last week before we went to Boston that I came out to? Was it at, I think it was Jay Reed's show.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'd planned, I was going to, you know, I told you I ought to come out and hang out. Right. So it was getting close to when I was about to leave, and the screen time, the screen, whatever the fuck thing is, I'm telling Angel, yeah, that's so funny. She knows, like, so she was watching, what was the show that she got all caught up on? And the bridesmaids, or no, the Handmaid's Tale, or whatever the fuck it's called, Handmaid's Tale. So Amari got her hooked on that. So she's watching every episode of that series, and she literally was about to start the last episode, and something came up on that screen time thing and she pressed something that wiped the whole thing out. Right before she was about to watch the last episode, and it was like saying it was out of memory or something. And I had ordered these things from Amazon that fixed it, but it happened right as I was about to leave. So I walk into the living room. She's like, I don't know what happened. I was about to watch the last episode and this happened. And so I looked at it and everything. I was like, oh fuck. I was like, yeah, I'm maybe it's on. So she was pissed, and so she was pissed that that happened right before the last episode. But like she's directing her anger at me. I didn't have fucking anything to do about it. Right. And so I go, oh fuck. I go, yeah, I can try and fix it tomorrow. And I guess I didn't show enough concern that because I go, it might be on Prime. Maybe you can, you know, buy that last episode. Right. And she was so mad, and she goes, okay, well, why don't you go play with your little friend Carlos? You go play with your friend Carlos. And I go, okay, I will. You go play with the TV. And then I fucking turned and walked. But we've laughed about it since. But it was just so funny But she was like, "Yeah, you go play with your little friend Carlos." And I was like,
Why I gotta be little? Why
I know.
I gotta be little?
So, and and she loves you, it's just, but she was mad at the time, and we like were laughing about it in Boston. But yeah, it's you definitely need that. You can't be somebody's everything. And I wouldn't, I don't want to be, and I don't want them to be, my everything. And I mean, I even have a joke where I talk about where I said my buddy, he was did a toast where he's like, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I married my best friend. And I was like, ew, fucking gross, like, and I definitely would say, Angel is one of my best friends, but I don't want her to be my everything, and I don't want to be her everything. I'm not. And then there's
the piece to that is that you also, I think, having friends helps you to, when y'all are in those moments, generally speaking, when you're in those moments where you're butting heads with somebody, if you truly have really good friends, people who are there to call you out even when you may be wrong, then it's good to have those people on your side. So you say, I'm telling, because sometimes we have this bad habit of telling one side of the story. I've been blessed enough to have the good people, the good friends I have in my circle would say, okay, well, now tell me what the other part of that is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, this happened too. It's like, okay, well, then you were wrong. Then you out of pocket. You out of pocket. But those that you don't have that if the only person you count on is the person that you with. And so it's like, no, I don't. The more I've grown, the more I've definitely come to appreciate my friendships. And that's not to discount a relationship, but I have to let her know now that I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not going to be able to not talk. I shouldn't have to leave my home to go talk to my friends. I should be able to talk to them right here. And things of that nature. But I've been there before. So when he was telling me that, I was like, yeah, dog, I don't know how that's gonna work. Because there's no long-term solution to that. She's not going to change. You want your friends, you need your friends, so you're going to have to make a hardline decision eventually. Which I had to do as well, so I've been there.
And I remember my friends, their family, James and Ty, I mean, their daughters are my Uncle Jason, and I remember, this is probably 30 years ago, but they got married. They were like high school sweethearts, got married and everything. And James was, playing Xbox or something, and somebody else, somebody else's girlfriend at the time or something was like, oh, you don't mind that he like will play video games for like an hours, a couple hours, and Ty was like, no. She's like, he's not out at a strip club, he's not out. She's like, he's here at home relaxing, she's like, I know where he's at. It's not that was like, like a requirement, but you understand what I'm saying. Like, right, she's like, he's just here at home, like relaxing. Why would I be upset about him doing that? Which I was like, yes, Ty, you get it.
Because I mean, yeah, I think it all boils down to communication, but I also think too that boils down to the other part I put down there was jealousy. I think I don't know if it's jealousy or insecurity, because I think those are two very fine lines of that. Because some people think that just because that friend has been around for so long that devalues them within the relationship. You're like, no, it's two completely different situations. But it's also too, I can't speak from a woman's perspective, but I'm going off what I felt when it happened to me, was that maybe they were jealous that relationship, that I had that relationship with someone that was closer, and it just happened to be a woman. And I'm like, I don't know. It's two completely different things. And I've known that person for years. So no, you can't come in and now dictate how I deal with them. That's weird.
Interesting. So that's interesting. So and it will happen with, whether it's a male or female, but in this scenario, it was a female friend that you have.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Because I'm really close with, I can probably name 3 women that I talk to on a regular basis, like consistently nonstop. When I say nonstop, I mean it's always been communication to some form or level. But yeah, it's like, you know, if you want me to cut that off, and I don't know if we're gonna last forever, but I know
Yeah.
I've had this friend forever. I've had
Right.
this friend for 10, 15, 20 years. So you asking me not to speak to them or not be engaged with them, that's weird to me. It's weird to me, especially if we've never done anything. And that's one thing I definitely will stand on. I have never had a best friend or a close woman friend that I slept with.
Yeah.
Like it's just never happened. It's never happened. It's never come up in a joke. It's never come up in and we playfully do it. No, it's just never come up.
Hey, here's my dick. Whee!
Right. It's just never come up. And some women that men and women, I guess, that's hard for people to believe. But I also believe too, when those situations get like that, then in my opinion, you're putting off your inability to have a close friend like that because maybe you wanted to, or y'all wanted to, or maybe y'all did at some point. So then you had to cut it off with trying to judge that against what I do with my friends. I don't fuck my friends. I just don't.
Yeah. That's why we've remained friends for so long.
Right. Well, we will remain friends forever because that will never happen. You will never be alluring to me, Jay. Never.
You know what? I don't take that as a anything negative. That's great.
That's a fantastic thing.
Yeah. And Victoria said she got the actual stance. Oh,
wow.
Look at this little Miss. Oh, what are you fucking Victoria Trump over here with the lies? United States 9 wins. So USA, the most Miss Universe wins. Venezuela 7, Puerto Rico 5, Philippines 4, which is also the place they're in, 4th. or 5 wins. Let me see if I'm reading this right. Miss Universe. No, yeah,
Puerto Rico
Philippines 4. Yeah. Well, Victoria.
Victoria, you had to be like, no, y'all keep talking. I'm going to look for this. I'm going to look for these facts. Listen, that wasn't even the point we were trying to make. We were trying to make the point that you have to be careful in the Philippines because those 4s can look a little different.
I'm looking up a different stat real quick. 1 second.
I think I know where you're going.
Yeah, I bet you do. You probably do. Let's see. Which country has the most transgender population? Let's see. This is 5 years ago.
Let me see. We applaud that. Thank you, Victoria, for knowing that you were wrong.
I'm trying to find a more recent. Okay, world population, trans population by country, 2025. United States, 1 million. Brazil, 1 million. Number 3, Philippines, 239,000. Thailand is actually, it goes United States, Brazil, Philippines, South Africa, Mexico, Canada, Nigeria, Thailand. So now this is 2025. This is 2025 I'm looking at. This is the worldpopulationreview.com that I'm looking at. Well, Victoria, once again, you were like, oh, that's Thailand. Thailand's fucking behind Philippines. Well,
way behind.
Well, number 3, you're number 3. So right. You gave yourself more credit for having the most Miss Universes, and not enough credit for having the most fucking ladyboys versus the old Thailand. I think Squid Game said Thailand has the nicest acceptance, if that makes sense. This is Crazy Cutie coming in here. It's just a movie, but I'm sure they use little facts. Yeah. It's Victoria.
You're number 3. You're number 3.
Oh, Victoria, love you, Victoria.
I'm not a fan, which again leads to if I ever decide to settle down again, it's gonna be we're gonna have to have some discussions.
You're not a fan of jealousy, not the ladyboys thing.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah,
Just clarifying.
The lady boys can do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
But jealousy, no, I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
So the next conversation I have with anybody that I'm going to settle down with is that listen, I have female friends. I have very close female friends, and if you're not comfortable with that, then that's going to be a you problem. Because I'm not letting my friends go. As a matter of fact, we all should all be able to understand that we're all but friends now, and I would expect that my friends accept my relationship as such as well. And so
Now, okay, here's the like I don't know this, but I'm assuming you're kind of similar how I am, where I always try and look at things like if the roles were reversed, how would I feel, right? So I'm sure I am confident that if your current girlfriend, let's say you had a girlfriend or wife or whatever, had a friend that they've had since childhood, they've never had sex or whatever, you're cool with that. Now, both scenarios. What about if you have an ex that you're still really tight with? I mean, you could say your ex-wife is an example, right? But that, let's say an ex that you had slept with that you're still friends with, or she has an ex-boyfriend or ex-husband that they used to obviously sleep together that she's still friends with. Any problems with that?
Well, here's the thing: is with me and my ex-wife, we have children, so
Right.
we talk all the time. We're going to talk all the time for the rest of our life because of our children. And so I definitely can't knock a mate that has to talk to her ex-husband who they slept with and had children with. But now, if you're friends with your ex-husband and y'all don't have any other ties together, but y'all hanging out and y'all still doing the whole love it, because I think that's the fine line for me is y'all could be friends all day long, but if I watch the interaction between you two and it's very touchy feely, it's very then it's gonna raise a red flag for sure. And I would expect that same way with my friends. Again, I've never been really touchy feely with my friends, and we don't do that. So no, that's where I would have it throw up a red flag for me, but I'd let it go on until it actually comes out, because whatever's done in the dark is gonna come to light anyway. So you can tell me y'all friends all day long and not and be doing some shit on the other side, but when it comes out, then just know you out the door. We good.
Yeah, I think I'm same as you. It is if you have an ex and you have nothing that requires you to be connected, but you're still friends, it's cool. But again, if you're like, have pet nicknames for each other that you're calling each other, or okay babe, or what the fuck.
Y'all talking to each other at 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, no, don't do that. Again, because
she's like, I'll be in a sec. I'm talking to Reggie.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, it ain't gonna be that unless it's an emergency. If that's an emergency, then do what you got to handle your business. Because again, as friends, shit comes up, and you like, I gotta talk them through this, or I gotta help them through it, or I just gotta listen. So I mean, those things come up, but if this is a daily occurrence where y'all having late night conversations and y'all going out for lunch and dinner and all that, then y'all need to get back together.
Yeah, I'll be in bed in a sec. I got to talk to Reggie. Well, tell Reggie you got to get off the phone so we can fuck. All right, let's get our plugs in. And are you? You're not on the show, Todd's show tonight, are you?
No, it's not tonight. No, I'm there.
Where are you at tonight?
I'm right here at the house.
Okay.
I'm sitting my ass down. I've been ripping and running for the past 5 days. So yes, today it's shut down day.
Crazy. I'm going to put this on for next week, which is, now does this work the same if you are friends with the same sex that was an ex, but you're bi? I mean, it's hard for us to say because neither one of us are bi, but actually, you know what? Maybe we'll have you just tune in next week, Crazy, and we'll fucking we'll have you come on and fucking you can answer.
I mean, because that's definitely a different perspective. But yeah, we'll talk. Yeah, put that on the thing.
Yeah, I'm going to. All right, let's do our plugs. What do you got, Carlos?
Yeah, well, y'all check out parttimefamous.com. We got LA Comedy Club coming up. We got where I'm headlining in Texas. And we got again, I hate running the whole calendar, but we got shit working. We working on. It does look crazy, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I was telling Carlos it looks like his because of the way the light is coming from his left, I guess.
That's crazy. I didn't even do that. I didn't touch nothing. How did I do that?
You fucking put a thumb up? I don't know. Who knows?
That's weird.
But it looks like his left side. Raise your left hand. Okay, yeah, it looks like your left side is lighter.
Right.
Anyways, this week. Oh yeah, first let me plug the album. I hate doing this, but we have to because I always I don't know if it's the fucking Irish Guild. I hate asking people for anything. It's hard for us to take compliments, all that shit. But my album is now out, and we're trying to get it to #1 for this week. It is called Green Monster. It's on iTunes and Amazon Music. If you have a choice between the two, please get it on iTunes, because that's the big thing. Like, oh, he's #1 on iTunes or whatever. It's only like $5.95, I think. And it was when I was fat. And so it's called Green Monster. It's put out by Laugh After Dark and John Tobin Presents. I'm very proud of it. And yeah, if you could purchase that, it makes so much. And yeah, Victoria said like and subscribe.
It's funny when you started talking about your special. It's almost like your green screen shined on you, and you were turning green as you were saying it. See?
Yeah, it's look, I'll be like this. I'll just do it like this. Yeah, it's called Green Monster. And
There it is.
But this weekend I will be in Boise, Idaho, at Lounge at the End of the Universe. One night and 2 shows the 22nd. Lounge at the End of the Universe in Boise, Idaho. Next week, the 29th, one night only, I'll be in Chandler, Arizona at Mic Drop Mania. Just picked that up. Week after that, Sanibel, Florida, the first week in April, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Then we go to West Jordan, Utah, Philadelphia, New Jersey, St. Paul, Minnesota, BigIrishJ.com. And until next week, now I need another fucking mic. This one's cutting out. Until next week, we love you all, and we're going to keep trying to put the love back in you right. Bye.